They picked that comment on the podcast. Welcome everyone to the Toku Portal podcast for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. I am Vashi V, and joining me today is
Right.
and yes, I hunted down that voice filter solely so I could do that.
Okay.
I spent 10 minutes just sitting in my mic going Kikai and listening to find one that sounded halfway decent. But oh my god, the dancing. Which we're gonna get into it. It's like, but I was so happy when Zox transformed at the start of this episode and there was no dancing. I was like, yes, we've gotten past that point.
No, we
And then the rest of
haven't.
that and then the rest of the episode happened. They just found another way.
The rest of them dance too. His is just more flashy.
Nobody dances like Zox.
So, picking up where we left off, it's 20 minutes later. The fight is over. We get a flashback to what happened. When the other Zenkaigers got knocked out, Zox and Stacy had a little talk. Stacy proposes something to Zox. Defeat Zenkaiser for me, and I'll give you that Tojiro gear you're looking for. Tell me which one it is. I'll go and get it for you. And Zox is obviously smart in that. It's like, no, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but if I defeat Zenkaiser, how about you take me to Toji Tendo and I can get it myself?
So to start with, I hate the fact that they had to flashback 20 minutes. That has always bothered me. Because to me it's always been it's considered an unnecessary time jump.
But from a storytelling narrative,
It does make sense.
yes, starting there would have felt a little awkward.
Right. Um but I do like the fact that, this is, something that Stacy's idea because he wants to do shit on his own, fuck everybody else. And Zox is the same way. I want to do things on my own, fuck anybody else. And it this entire episode is both people attempting to play to each other's ego. Like, to me, this is an episode that continues to point out what Zox said last episode. No, dude, I've been studying you guys. Come on now.
And it does make a good point where Zox doesn't tell Stacy which gear he's looking for. Because if he did, Toji Tendo would never use it.
Right. And in not even that, it's like if he did happen to infiltrate, that's going to be the one they're going to hide and guard the most.
The alternative.
This way, it's they don't know which one it is.
Right.
Good luck.
The alternative scenarios that they find out which one he's looking for and do use it so that he can have it and maybe leave them alone. But that's not what would happen.
Right.
Because then they have no guarantee he would leave them alone, and they no longer hold any cards against him.
Right. Like, this is the few times where the villain side is actually being intelligent.
Even the generals are arguing with each other over it too. Barshi yells at each other like, "Hey, you're the inventor. You leave the military tactics to me." And Ichiro's like, as if I can't come up with my own military tactics.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
And then both their plans fail.
Yeah. Well, again, that's what happens when you have two egotistical people trying to do the same thing.
Because Zox just literally goes up to Kaido's face and tells him, like, "Hey, so Stacy just made me this offer, so we're gonna go duel now."
So, I want to preface this by watching the new subtitle group that we have. You know how during the opening they had that little scene where like they're talking about the episode?
Uh, do you mean Toon, like giving the recap?
No, no, no. Like during the opening, there's a point in it where they just characters start talking.
Oh, like the intro? I skipped that, so.
Yes, good. If you haven't watched it for this episode, skip that. It ruins the episode.
Oh, it spoils what happens?
It straight up spoils it.
Oh!
So I walked into this knowing what was up
I
because I
just
watched it.
I just casually
Because
skipped the intro because it's not.
yeah, well, it's also for us. It has never been subtitled for us because TV Nihon wasn't subtitling that. They were just whatever and move on about their day, or at least at the point where we saw it, it wasn't. The final releases may have had it, but the QCs and stuff didn't. So yeah, it completely ruined the whole plot of the episode.
Wow.
I
And
was
like,
extremely disappointed. Which, to be fair, in my defense, the internet had already spoiled it for me, so I already knew.
but still, like,
Yeah,
sure, if you think about it for more than 5 seconds, obviously they were going to collude and come up with a contingency plan.
right,
But the 10-year-old kids that are this is marketed to,
right. That's why this type of stuff has always been at the end of the episode where they kind of talk about,
I wow, I can't wrap my head around that they would do that.
which it makes me wonder just how much of the show has been spoiled in the opening scenes
That like we just haven't noticed because like
because we haven't because they haven't been subtitled for us.
so like the intro song is a catchy song,
Yes, it
uh,
is.
but I don't like it as much as I've liked some of the previous ones that we've gotten. Uh, so I've just been skipping this one each week.
I think I can figure out why it doesn't hit for you the way the other ones have. This doesn't feel like an opening theme song. This feels like an ending theme song. Like everything I see about this opening just seems like an ending song because it's got the dance and everything, and the fact that we don't have an ending theme song.
Oh,
But yeah, I give Zox credit for going, hey, by the way, I'm gonna kick your ass now, and here's why.
right.
And the intelligence that Kaito has to basically go, hey, no, 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 guys,
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
chill.
He
It's cool because he came and told me. He didn't
yeah
just
he
jump me.
there yeah, if he was serious about fighting me, he wouldn't have come and told me to my face.
Nah, he would have been attacked coming back from the store.
So yeah, Kaito and Zox have a duel. Uh, they're both using gears against each other. They're both going like head to head with their swords. They're both like going full force, full throttle, and then Kaito pulls out gear number 3, Battle Fever,
Fever. Oh god, I was unprepared for this.
and they just have a dance off.
And
And
all I can think of, as much as I hate to admit it, is Chris Pratt and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a dance off, bro.
like Kaito mentions how he can't stop dancing. He's like he actually had no idea what he was getting into when he used that gear. And then Zogs is just like, "Oh, so it's a dance off, is it?"
Like he just rolls with it. I was like,
And
the
even
fuck.
over in the audience, Jordan's just like, "Well, if I knew this was gonna happen, I would have joined." Ugh. and Flynn is just ah,
The
like,
fuck? Her response, her reaction was my reaction. What am I watching?
uh. And then it ends when Zox moves on to his next gear. Number 41, Kyu Ranger. But the gear he uses is Koguma Sky Blue.
On one hand, shame on you for remembering that character. The worst character of the show.
What do you mean, shame on me? We just saw
Not
it in the
you,
episode.
not you, not you. Toei.
Oh.
Shame on Toei for remembering that character. Because
That
to be fair, he
out of
out of
everyone that
everybody.
yeah, out of everyone that didn't need to be a Kyu Ranger, he is at the top of that list. He contributed nothing of value.
Um. Well, him and um the cow guy, the cow robot, Champ.
Champ. Champ contributed story
Those
points.
two. Well, but those two helped bring humanity to Stinger. When he was no fuck everything, I hate everything. My brother turned evil, so that whole thing. He brought him back to himself.
Okay. Stinger's story
Beyond
with
that,
Champ carried on throughout the show, though. Stinger's story with what?
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Gami? What? His
Kotaro.
Kotaro. I was like, it's definitely a name that I've heard before.
And I can tell you now, if King ever listens to this, she will be ashamed that we forgot.
Whatever. He's literally the least important member of the team. That's the point. What was I saying? Right, so his Stinger story with Kotaro lasts, like, what, 3 episodes?
Yeah, 3 or 4 episodes around him going off to be trained and when he comes back.
Like, I maintain that the story would have been better if Kotaro didn't join the team, didn't become a Kyu Ranger. And so at the end, when humanity has turned against them, like everyone on Earth is like, no, you're only causing us more trouble by fighting back, have Kotaro have been the one that stands up for them and cheers them on.
That would have been better.
Instead, it was Kotaro's little brother who had so little relevance in the show. I wouldn't be surprised if you forgot that's who that was.
I mean, I did until they, hit you in the head with it.
I probably did too. I don't remember.
But on the other hand, but okay. So shame on Toei for remembering, but good remembering at least that power did get used once.
Okay, so my point is, he used Koguma Sky Blue, so his extra members thing doesn't apply strictly to 6th members.
It applies to additional members.
So what this suggests is that he has access to all 3 Key Rangers beyond the base 9. Because that was a 9-member team at base.
Right.
So he would also have Dragon Master and Ho-Oh Soldier.
Yes. And now it basically, and this is currently an argument that I keep seeing on Facebook.
Go on.
The Thunder Brothers.
The Go Riders, they were a 2-man Sentai, literally.
Right. But, and from everything I've read, they are completely separate. Who at some point they're.
So the argument is there legitimacy as a status on whether they are base team members or additional members?
Additional members. Toei officially points out that they are additional members, but they're not 6th Ranger status.
I think.
Whereas the Go On Wings are.
They are the additional members of the Go On members,
but they also count as 6 members. as
Right.
the sixth
They
ranger.
they are both the sixth member.
Right. So it's where did because this is something Toei's never really fully addressed. Where do the Thunder Brothers fall in line?
I would argue that they fall in line in their own team. Therefore, they are base team members that team up with the Hurricanegers.
I can accept that
So,
because like the whole argument that ended up like how they're like, oh well, the group that I'm in, they're like, they don't count as base team because when the Zenkaigers used them, it only used those three.
well, I would argue that
There were
there's
only three members at the time that gear got used.
that aside
If they used
because
it now, would it use all five?
I think that there would probably be another gear specific to the Go Riders that is also shares the same number. Same with the Lupin Ranger and Pat Ranger. Two separate
Right.
teams, same number. That's probably where the Go
But
Riders stand.
until they release those as toys or use them in the show, we have no guarantee.
Right.
We have
Zox
no
has Shuri
evidence.
Kenger for sure. Where do
Yes.
the Go Riders stand? Uh, Next subject of debate: Geki Ranger. Have
He
you
is
seen?
considered he is considered an additional member.
No, not Geki Chopper. We already saw him get
Okay.
used. Have you seen Geki Ranger?
Not all of it.
Okay, I don't know if I should. Well,
I saw Wild Force. Or not Wild Force. Jungle Fury. Or
okay.
whichever the pizza place.
Rio and Melee. Where do they stand?
They're not Sentai members.
They were
They're
amongst Bosco's additional member summons.
I understand that, and that is wrong. I don't care what Toei says.
Okay, so you're arguing with Toei
So,
about their IP.
yes, I am. Could be, and here is my reasoning for it. They don't have Ranger forms. They have monster forms, or what would be considered their monster forms. Whereas every other instance in this case, the bad guy becoming good guy has always gotten a Ranger form, or at least some significant change to their look to signify that they shift. They didn't just get mechs.
Okay, so I just had an epiphany unrelated to this.
Okay.
Ryusol Brown.
I mean, yes, he counts. He's an additional member.
He had a roll call, right?
He had a roll call. He had his own definitive color and suit. He is an official additional member, unlike Shinken Brown.
Yeah, no, Shinken Brown.
Shinken Brown is unofficial.
Shinken Brown, Racer White. There was Abare Pink.
Abare Pink.
Like those are all just fan members. Like they don't count.
Juo Human.
All right, Juo Human. And if you want to get American about it, SPD Orange.
Yeah. And if you want to get really extra about it, the Powerful Rangers. Or, I forget what they called them, but, Boken Red in a sombrero. I need to know why that was a thing.
I
Because
watched.
I don't think Bokenger ever had a sombrero on. Transformed.
Not a sombrero, but I want to say there was an episode where he was wearing some kind of weird getup. Like an unusual like clothing on top of his ranger suit kind of thing.
That might have been the joke.
Yeah.
That might have been where Akiba Ranger got that.
Oh, the Karma episode. Or not Karma, Feng Shui. And so he had
I'll have to go back and find it.
he had to like dress up to like reset his like chakras or whatever.
I'll have to look into that one.
Basically, he was cursed by a magic talent and had to wear good luck charms.
Makes sense.
We were talking about Zenkaiger.
Yeah, we got sidetracked with the debate
It was
and sidetracked
mostly
even further.
relevant until the end there.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so uh, Kaito counters by using Mask Man power, but nothing happened. Oh no, he's gonna, oh no, and then Zox blows him the fuck up.
And
And
boy, does everybody overly dramatically lose their shit.
I was kind of like shocked when I saw it because I was like, okay, he's obviously not dead. But I didn't know that they knew that, so I was confused by their reactions. It's like, yeah, they would be sad by this, but like,
But
some
damn.
something seems off about this. Can't
Like,
quite put my finger on it though.
okay, do you want to know what felt off?
Go on.
Okay, I can tell you exactly what felt off. Given all of the Sentai we've seen, all of the anime we've seen, all of the Tokusatsu esque animes that we've seen, every time a character has died because of somebody else, you get one of two things. They either all crowd around where the dead body is and or was and cry, or they cry, get pissed off, and go kick the dude's ass.
Yeah, that must be it. Like
They
they
don't all just stand in one spot and go,
they
in the case of Room, throw a temper tantrum.
yeah, they just all loudly exclaim their despair at having seen Kaito died, rather than get on their knees and just like.
And actually seems sad.
And then Stacy shows up and is a fucker,
I mean,
but
we all knew he was. We all knew he
yeah,
was.
like the pirates were like, yeah, we expected you to betray us. We're just disappointed that you actually did. But that's why we didn't actually kill Kaito. It was Mass Man's aura power. He's just flying in the air right over there.
Which one of those? If Stacy had looked 2 inches to the left, would have seen him.
Oh,
Bless you.
ow.
But like,
Oh.
those are the moments in Sentai and pretty much a lot of Toku where my brain registers. How did he not see him over there? Peripheral vision. Does nobody else have it?
Maybe he was like slightly invisible or something. I don't know.
I mean, I can accept that. It's nice when they point it out time, every now and again.
I didn't see Mass Man. I don't know how their aura power works. I knew it was very clearly like a trick. Like, oh, like light. Like there's something going on here. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, they blew up an illusion or something, and it was hiding behind a tree.
Right. I mean, that's where my brain went.
Uh,
That or like he teleported him out at the last second. And, the standard go to, you know, survivability fluff.
so Stacy is actually confused here that Zox colluded with Kaito over it. It's like, hey, even if you couldn't trust me, going with my plan was still your best chance at getting that gear. Why didn't you do it? And Zox's answer is because I like Kaito more than I like you. He's fun.
If ever there was a reason for, the sixth member to go from I'm kind of a dick to I'm now a good guy, I like this reason. No, he's fun. It's very much something I could see Marvelous and, Marvelous doing for the Gokaigers. And I mean, to be fair, Marvelous did kind of do that with Guy. Well, that guy was useful.
And so like we got the transform and roll call, and it's all six of them lined up, And seeing like the
Like
bong bong
two,
while he
yeah,
dances, like
like the transformation sequences is all perfect and very much six member, but it's still two split roll calls. So it's not they're the this is that he's on his way to joining the team, but he's not there yet.
and so like I noticed something here though, because I actually paid attention to their poses when they did their roll calls, uh, and I realized like they're all posing the way the teams that they represent would. But I noticed, what the fuck is Juran doing?
At which point,
So he starts off fun because he has the like dramatic like static movements of the Jew Rangers, but then he
and then he
like
just starts doing the walk like
yeah
an Egyptian thing.
he just like does this at the end, and it's like, what is this? They never did this.
So that's something I've noticed. I just never thought to question it
I just noticed it now, and I'm confused.
because because like you said, yeah, they all do something from their each unique
Yeah,
series. It's
they
like,
all do like the pose and like motions that their series would have done. If they can't do exactly that, they do something similar to it. Like Vroom, he is too bulky to do the actual kind of movements that the Bokengers would have done, so he just
yeah,
does his best. And I
and
get
he
what
does
he's
and ends with the snap.
yeah,
Like
and
that's what
like you
that is.
get what he's going for. What is Juran doing? Is
He starts it with the ending pose for Tyranno, and then just loses his shit.
and like yeah, he like in the middle it's fun because he's like doing again he's doing the like staticky movements that they would do, but then he just kind of like slides into like this
Like, I'm a cool hip dude.
like I don't get it. And while I was paying attention to that, it highlighted to me just how much Zox is Gokai Silver.
Yes.
Like
He's Gokai Silver
we
if he was the leader of the team.
we already knew that, but like paying attention to their roll calls this much really like cements just how much.
Yeah, like I said, he's what Gokai Silver would be if he was the leader of the team.
But let's not forget the best one. Flint, standing on a rock, shooting the grunts with a gun.
Bang, 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 bang.
That's how you make a side character relevant.
Yeah.
You get them involved.
Yeah. If only Saber could learn that. But then again, they have main cast who's not involved.
So, okay, we're gonna talk about Saber for a few minutes. Because I haven't been watching since that last podcast because whatever.
You've not really missed much.
So Kenzan, the last time we saw him, he was crying like a bitch.
Oh no, he's still kind of crying like a bitch.
Does he just show up to offer his sword for the fucking thing?
No. What happens? So they all show up, because Solomon's doing his little dick thing. The rest of the team goes to fight Solomon. Toma shows up because he went to go get Kento. Kento stops and has a conversation with his dad, who's apparently not dead, but whatever. At which point he's, hey, go take your damn sword too, you jackass. Stop living in the past, follow your heart. Power of friendship, blah, blah.
Yeah, whatever.
So when Toma gets done there, he goes to join the fight. Phoenix shows up. They start fighting. They kick his ass. And then they start all fighting Solomon. They all get wrecked. And then Kenzan shows up. I'm the strongest one of all of y'all. And gets wrecked.
How fucking dare he?
Yeah, that is his entire character. I'm the strongest.
After
when he's not.
After everything he did. How dare
Dude, he
he?
was getting his ass kicked by low tier monsters. What do you think you're doing against the main villain, you jackass? But yeah, he gets wrecked, and then that's when Saber does his little speech and becomes Cross Saber.
I can't imagine that there wasn't a plan for Kenzan becoming a villain, that they just didn't know how to make it work.
I mean, to be fair, they thought they could make Rentaro a main character, the main character. They fucked that up too.
All right, back to Zenkaiger.
Um, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Uh,
We don't need to spend an hour and a half bitching about about Saber because we could.
so Stacy summons Jacket Dengeki Tai. And so Zox uses the Big One gear and takes control of them because that was Big One's role on the show. Literally introduced midway through to be the new leader of the team to try and boost ratings.
This is not what I expected Big One to do. I expected him to use it and just basically just stick everybody. He just hit everybody with a stick, and no, he just goes, no.
So kind of turns the tables on Stacy, which is fun to see. And now Stacy is never going to use that gear again.
Nope. If he does, he's an idiot.
It's his own fault if he didn't learn the first time.
And my God, this Stacy. I'm starting to hate Stacy.
Go on.
Well, because aside from this little nice little plan, he's unnecessarily one note now.
The problem is that he was introduced to be a plot device for Zox's introduction.
Yeah. Instead of having him actually be a character, he's now literally just that.
He can
I'm
still
that character with one mission.
he can still be a character. The problem is that the show is focusing on establishing Zox as a member of the team first. And so Stacy had to get sidelined so they could prioritize that. If anything, they introduced Stacy too early.
Right. Or Zox too early. Somebody got introduced too early.
Because they set everything up for Stacy to have an excellent character arc, but they had to put him on the sideline for the new team member.
Like, because I am forced to with this show, I'm going to parallel it to Gokaiger's. Like, they had Stacy set up perfectly to be the Bosco to Marvelous. He was set up to be Kaito's Bosco. That perfect rivalry.
Which they're still going with. Like, notice how Stacy told Zox to defeat Zenkaiger.
Right. Like, it's still there. The threads are still there. They're just very slowly pulling on them instead of actually fully establishing him as a character. Whereas Bosco, from the get-go, once Bosco was introduced, that was it.
I'm hoping that, like, once they get through Zox's whole joining the team arc, we'll go back to, like, Stacy's character development.
I hope so. Because he, like, even, like, by the end of this episode, it's like, there's a little bit of growth there. It's like, but...
He has a lot of character potential, and it's really interesting. They're just sitting on it right now because they have to focus on the shiny gold one.
Yeah, yeah. New pretty. New
toy. Who dis?
Quite literally new toy. Who dis? Speaking of new toy, we get to see Stay Caesar in action.
Yeah, we get to see...
or Battle Caesar.
We get to see his slightly upgraded mech. It's got a slightly power boost to it, and by that I mean it has a shiny sword.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
My brain went, I fucking no, it's got the two little things. I'm like, no, wait, no, it does have a sword too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's slightly been upgraded since the last deploy. Zox fucking wrecks it by himself. Like, it is a straight up, like, samurai battle with the mechs, and Zox just fucking owns him. It's almost one sided.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you're sword fighting somebody who's literally using samurai powers. Like Zox is like, no, dude, this was always gonna happen. What were you expecting?
Yeah, so he's just like, what do you even care about us anyways? You're just pirates. So he's just like, we're
No, no, no.
we're
We're not just
world
pirates.
we're world pirates. Fuck you.
And the sad thing is, with that line, I was expecting, remember that.
And then
Because my brain, as soon as they went the correction of who I am, my brain just immediately goes decayed every time.
he cuts down Stacy's mech and it blows up. Stacy lives,
It's,
and if he didn't use it to pound the ground, I would have been convinced he dislocated his shoulder.
yeah, that did look kind of bad.
Yeah, but he was using it, so it's fine. It's fine.
It's like the one thing I like Stacy in terms of like this type of villain is he is emotional, which, given the nature of what he is, the fact he's this emotional is refreshing.
Right, that's his human
Because
half.
yeah, well, most of the Sentais that have done the whole this character is half human. The robot half is the majority. So it's like they're not as emotional; they're more calculating. Whereas Stacy just seems straight up human
Which
half the time.
begs the question: how does Stacy feel about that?
God, he was a fucking psychiatrist nightmare.
He, like he has a lot of interesting character potential, but they had to bench him.
Right, and my worry is that they will forget that they have him and had plans for him.
I don't
Because
think
let's be
so.
fair, look at Toei's track record. They've done this before,
The whole point
usually with a bigger cast.
seems to be that he is Ichirude's pawn to send out into battle. So, and Ichirude is upset that his plan didn't work, but hey, that's what backup plans are for.
Yeah, like the one thing I'm waiting for is the it coming to a head of him feeling like a pawn, not just in his plans, but in his plans to be a dick to his dad. Like I'm waiting for that whole triangle to come to a head.
Despite all his rage, he's still just mad at his dad.
My brain still wanted to finish that line correctly. Goddamn rhythmic memory. Like the show is fantastic for a show that 100% is out of its mind. Because you can't argue the show is out of its mind.
That's what makes it great, though.
Right, but I mean, look at how many of when you go back to your list of top 10 Sentais,
Okay,
how many of those are off the wall, right? Off the wall Sentai stories?
not a lot.
Very few. Cure Major.
Oh yeah, Kier Major is definitely on that list now.
Oh yeah, Cure Major's on that list. But like you go through just even in the recent years, none of them had been this off the wall. The closest we got to it, out excluding Cure Major, was Wiseru and Creon and Rear Soldier.
Hey, instead of Saber, let's just watch Kier Major again.
I'm down for that. Okay, since we brought it up, I have to bring something up. because I have watched something, and I told you that I watched something. Did you watch
No.
Saber Ghost? Okay.
I saw it when I was grabbing the Zenkaiger episode, and I thought about it and went, no, I don't care.
Okay. Well, watch it. It actually, for Saber, it is one of the best things to come out of Saber because it's A, B, that's it. That there's no deviation from story. This is the story. That's it. The issue with it, like I said, is it feels like part two of a three-part series where part one and three don't exist. Because like it flashbacks to the last movie, the Spectre movie.
Oh, I don't. Did I watch that one?
That's the one where you find out that him and Canon are clones. That's where Spectre gets his Mugen form, his little shiny rainbow form.
What?
Yeah, you know Ghost's final form.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spectre gets one.
I didn't watch this movie.
Yeah.
I'm
It's dumb.
confused.
It's dumb, and that's saying something.
I'm just gonna pretend this didn't happen. Anyways.
But the whole episode focuses, and it's an episode's about 20 minutes of everybody trying to find Canon because she's walking around looking for her brother. She's also super fucking strong for some reason. But that's the whole thing. Everybody's looking for her because again, bad guys are doing something that we missed because we didn't get it, and then it ends. Takeru and Tomba both promising we're gonna find your brother, and then it ends, and then next thing the post credit scene is her walking down, and she gets kidnapped by two of the other bad guys, and drag off, and that's the end of it. I'm like, there is no 1 in 3 of this. What the fuck did you do? The only thing I can think of is that's gonna get tied into the Taihen movie.
Is it called Taihen?
Tyson or whatever the fuck it is.
I was gonna say it's like I thought they were called Tyson movies.
Yeah, I know one of them's called Taihen. I know that. There's one movie that's Taihen. I don't remember which one it is, and I don't remember why it was called that. But yeah, literally, unless this ties into that movie, there's no purpose to this, none whatsoever. The only good thing of it is we have Kanon, who's not saying Alan Sama the entire episode.
How is Alan Sama?
If the end of Ghost is to be construed correctly, dating Canon.
Good for him.
Yeah. And it's being able to see her actually act and do shit. Because for some reason, Disaster's in it because it crosses over with Saber. So he sees her walking down the street and goes, that doesn't smell like a human. This is interesting. She's going, where's my brother? Where's my brother? And Disaster goes, I'll be your brother. Come on.
I need an adult.
Literally, it becomes an I need an adult because she spends a good portion of the episode whooping his ass. Like straight whooping his ass. Like you can see the Sayo coming out in her.
Disaster.
Yes, she wrecks Disaster shit. Yes. To be fair, this isn't human canon. This is a new canon. This is a clone canon. Because that's a thing. Everything about Ghost hurts your head.
Back to Zenkaiger.
You mentioned Kira Major, and I had to bring that up because what the fuck. Real quick because it ties to it. Do you want to know the best thing about this special?
Fine.
Is it aired during the trailer for it aired before both movies, both the Kira Major movie and the Saber movie. So before the Saber movie, it's they're showing a trailer for it in it's canon, and they're showing oh, I'm sorry, the trailer for the Kira Major movie was before the Saber movie, and the Ghost special was before the Kira Major movie. So when the Kira Major aired, it was Sayo going basically having a conversation about how that girl looks like me. And then during the Kira Major trailer, it was Canon going, that girl looks like me. It's the same person. It was funny.
Reminds me of at the end of Q Ranger when Raptor is sitting at a table and Luca walks up behind her and they get into an argument.
Or the end of the Gavin movie for Gokaiger.
Oh, what happened there? I don't remember.
Where they had all three of the fucking characters that one dude played. Denji Man and the two others all standing there going and like talking to each other. And guys sitting there going anyways, Kira Major
Zenkaiger. The heroes have a victory feast back at the restaurant. Yesterday decides to splurge for them because they all worked together and got along. And it's really sweet because it shows that they're bonding and becoming friends with the pirates. And this, again, I've said this before, it establishes a sense of normalcy. So that now that we've seen how well they get along with each other, it'll raise the stakes the next time they fight each other.
Right. Like, well, that and the fact that it's starting to re-drop the hints of that the storyline about Kaito's parents is going to pick up again. With EJ Rude talking about, well, back to the other plan that's still ongoing.
Yeah, no.
And then the stopping and looking at the picture, it's like, oh yeah, this is about to come back again.
When Zox told Kaito that Stacy promised to take him to Toji Tendo, Kaito's eyes lit up. Like, if Zox can go there, he could look for my parents.
Right. Like, so they have it set to take this from funny, haha, this is cute and slightly aggravating with all the dancing, to super serious. It has that path to take that the way Kira Major did for a little bit, where it had that super serious storyline through it, but still keep its lighthearted nature because it's given us that what is passing for normal is everybody goofing off and having fun. It does not feel like we're 14 episodes into the show. Like, it doesn't. Like, it feels like we have been watching the show longer.
Right.
Because there are, parallels to, like, the type of story and writing feels like it's a continuation of, like, the Kira Major style of writing.
I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, but 14 episodes into Saber, we had just, like, found out who Caliber was, basically.
Which one?
The one at the time, like, the second...
The former Saber.
The former Saber. The second Caliber, like... We had just, like, found out that, like,
right.
he was looking for the Book of All Knowledge and All Power, I think.
Yeah, because we spent all that time with Kento going, it's my dad, it's my dad, it's my dad. That's not my dad.
Yeah. That was 14 episodes into Saber. 14 episodes into Zenkaiger. Look at where we are.
It feels like, and this is that point, is like, these are two entirely drastically different shows.
Look at how far we've come.
But like, if you look at them and like, you listen to, like, if we were to tell everybody, overall, settings, characters, monster of the week, for Zenkaiger, we'd look like crazy people.
Yeah,
you tried insane.
You try telling people about this show and convince them that it's good. I dare you to try.
It's not gonna happen. The only way you're going to convince somebody this show is good is have them watch it because
They
you explaining it, you're
even
going to
if they
look nuts.
watch it, that's not gonna work because this show relies heavily on its tongue-in-cheek references to its past iterations. Like
Which,
like the
okay,
subtle joke
so,
about that the subtle gag about reused stock footage with the mech fights.
right. But, like, here's the thing. And here's why I say showing them will work. Pixie doesn't know a lot of Sentai. She knows a lot of Power Rangers, but doesn't know a lot of Sentai. So all of the tongue-in-cheek Sentai, she doesn't get. All the jokes that they put in through, like the use of the gears, like, when they use Q Ranger, and they start launching through town as a roll of sushi.
Yeah,
She doesn't like it. It
she
doesn't make
she
make
doesn't
sense to
get
her.
it.
She doesn't get it, but she very much enjoyed it.
Okay, okay.
So this is that show where it being crazy is a mark in its favor. But you explain the show and you're like a crazy person. You explain the majority of Saber. It sounds like it should be awesome,
By all means, I should love Saber. It should be in my top 10 rider series.
but it's not
But
because it can't do pacing. It can't let characters become characters
I
because
I
they can't focus on a character long enough.
you haven't
They give one character power up. Um, so they give Rentaro his power up, his white, wolf form
yeah.
or white lion form. He wrecks the General Megiddo's shit. Wrecks um the Trident dude shit. Next fight, gets his ass whooped. Like wrecked hospital wrecked.
Like you have
Only to have Saber come in and get a magical power up for one episode to save him. I'm like, you ruined that power up.
you
Why
have
did you give him a power
you
up?
have an order of knights that turn out to be corrupt, a collection of legendary swords, like a storybook theme about might and magic. Like you have all the makings of a good show. What happened?
Too many fucking people. And Ghost happened. This is that Ghost issue that we've talked about where it starts off great, 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 and then it just seems to fall apart. Because to be fair, this show started great. Confusing considering how drastic it was different from what we were used to. But it seems the longer that this show has gone, it has lost every fucking thread it was trying to do until now, and it's trying to glue them all back together. Like there's a giant knot, and they just have the ends tied together. And wait, story.
Like I was saying earlier, I'm hoping that once it's over, being able to watch it at like your own pace, like a few episodes at a time instead of once a week, will help it. So that like
Right.
the story beats are hit faster, so you feel like you're actually making progress.
Um, and the other issue with it is the fact that every single evil writer, aside from Solomon at this point, no, they're okay. They're all cool.
Wait, even the siblings that were working
Yes,
for?
because they've literally went, you're a piece of shit,
Okay,
and you're
okay.
trying to destroy the world.
Hold on. Say okay, they started foreshadowing that Sabella would turn when I left off, but Durando was like the advocate, like no, he is law.
Okay, so they give a good reason for it. It doesn't hit as well as I feel it should.
And that reason is like, wait, you're actually
They
gonna
are oath. Well, they are oath to protect Master Logos and his plans to protect the world.
but
The
he's going to
moment Solomon
destroy
goes, I'm going to, and flat out goes, I'm destroying the world. Durandal goes, yeah, no, fuck that. You're not Master Logos. Therefore, we don't have to listen to you.
Okay, so it sounds like the problem is that he literally turns on a dime and has
Yes.
none of the conflict of opinion that Sabella was going through.
Yeah, his is more the I am following my instructions to the letter. And it doesn't matter who's sitting in that chair. All that matters, are you going to protect the balance of the worlds?
What a waste of a character.
He's an unnecessary character. He really is.
Did he add anything?
No, not anymore. Because once they took that away, that also took away all of Sabella's conflict and character growth that they were having, and
Wow,
that
he
all of that.
he literally took more away from the show than he added.
Yes, because they literally like I said, it's like they all show up, they start fighting, get wrecked. Toma shows up, they get wrecked. Then, um, Sabella and Durandal show up, and evil Gentro is sitting there going, oh look, the two little kids came back. What are you gonna do? And they literally just go, you're not Master Logos.
Yeah, like, hey, congratulations, you run an organization with one member in it. You. We're all starting our own club with blackjack and hookers. You
Well,
know
actually,
what?
no,
Forget
no,
the
no, no, no,
swords.
no. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. How to truly do that right, Master Logos is the one who went, no, I'm starting my other group with blackjack and hookers. He was the one who did that. Durandal went, no, this is law. You should be doing this, and he's sitting over in the corner going, nah, 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 nah. Though I will admit, as much as that show irritates me, some of that casting they got is fantastic. Because, oh my god, crazy, Shinken Gold is. He is amazing by this point. He plays Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs fantastically. That's about it.
Alright, well, we should wrap this up. So next time on Zenkaiger, it's the 80s.
Do you know what's sad with that?
Go on.
Next week on Saber, it's Samurai Town.
Oh, we got a theme of oldies.
Yeah. At least Sabers make sense because Toei constantly tries to reuse Samurai Town.
Yeah, that's fair. And I guess Zenkaiger just wanted to, visit 40 years ago.
I mean, the Legends of Tomorrow did it. Why can't they? And to be fair, Zenkaiger's just, oh my god, I have to comment on it. Zox in the 80s suit with the pimp hair. It is glorious. That is something I'm very much looking forward to, his reaction to.
I think Zox is supposed to be like an 80s Yakuza.
Either that or like that what they would consider an American slick businessman. Like that Hollywood exec type is very much what that looks like. It's either that or he's supposed to be Kiryu. And ended up as Majima instead.
Alright.
Speaking of which, I need to have a discussion with you off the podcast.
So thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back next time for more Zenkaiger.
Thank you all for listening. At some point, we'll do Saber when the show doesn't feel like a chore. Until then, we'll be back to enjoy Zenkaiger next week.